We know a key part of our thesis today is mitochondrial health. Any other major players we should bring into the conversation to help bump those up and facilitate healthy mitochondria?
I think we've got to dedicate ourselves to our mitochondrial health. I mean, every organ in the body is so dependent on energy. The heart muscle, the detoxification processes of the liver, everything depends on having enough energy to carry out its tasks. So, well beyond the brain. And I think first, let's remove the threats. What threatens mitochondrial function? Inflammation and insulin resistance threaten mitochondrial function. We've been talking about this at length today. And how do we, are there ways of nurturing mitochondria? Well, exercise is certainly one. It helps us grow new mitochondria and helps us engage in a process whereby our bodies are able to rid themselves of defective mitochondria, a process called mitophagy, a form of autophagy. Maybe people have heard of autophagy, but not mitophagy. So we want to engage mitophagy, get rid of the bad players, and engage also mitochondrial biogenesis, the growth of new healthy mitochondria, youthful mitochondria. As a sidestep, there's even research now looking at the idea of mitochondrial transplantation. Can you imagine taking mitochondria, let's say, out of the muscle, of a healthy muscle tissue, spinning it down and then administering it into an area where it is needed, like the brain? But supporting mitochondrial function with good nutrition is extremely valuable. Again, keeping blood sugar under control. Supportive mitochondrial supplements include things like coenzyme Q10, a good B complex vitamin, acetyl L-carnitine, and certainly creatine monohydrate or hydrochloride, and I think DHA as well. These things are all supportive of mitochondrial health and should, no matter what you're trying to avoid, as it relates to any chronic degenerative condition, it all starts with the mitochondria. So you got to do everything you can to keep them on your side, keep them healthy. And again, healthy mitochondria keeps our microglial cells in their brain defending role.
Last question for today. We've covered a lot. People may be feeling overwhelmed in a good way, but let's give people a short checklist. Top 3 things people want to make sure they're doing after listening to this interview to enhance their brain health and the health of their microglia.
Sure. First thing I mentioned earlier, recognize that you don't need to be at the mercy of a pharmaceutical fix. That brain health begins with your choices every single day. That's the most important message that I can convey. Now, beyond that, I would recommend, this may sound self-serving, but the book is called Brain Defenders. That will give you chapter and verse everything you need to know to chart out a program to really be the architect of your brain's destiny and not be subject to having being at the mercy or hoping that some magic pill is developed. Beyond that, the sleep recommendations, supplement recommendations, dietary recommendations, exercise, new technologies, even the idea of that 40 hertz flashing light in your eyes, all of these things are fascinating and interesting and things that we can incorporate. But for sure, it's time to take the reins of control and realize, again, that your brain destiny depends on you making the right choices starting today.
Earlier, you mentioned the upcoming tech. What piece of technology or equipment is up and coming when it relates to brain health that you're most excited about?
Well, I don't know that there's one that I'm most excited about, but there's some really exciting things coming from the tech perspective. There is ultrasound treatments of the brain that may in fact be showing promise in terms of improving cognitive function. Who knew? This 40 hertz light and sound therapy that restores gamma oscillation that has been shown to target microglia is very exciting. There are researchers working on ways of administering various types of molecules that can help revert T1 or M1 microglia back to being M2 supportive. Microglial actual transplantation is now taking place in humans. My goodness, even mitochondrial transplantation is taking place in humans. There's something I describe in the book called RNS-60, an experimental treatment that has been shown to have a significant effect on ALS and on stroke patients, reducing the amount of time that they are hospitalized and being associated with improved functionality. And this is a direct mitochondrial targeting agent with no demonstrated side effects whatsoever. We're watching the science as it relates to that product very, very closely. Very, very exciting. So there's a lot to keep an eye on, and you could set up Google to ping you every day when these things are announced. And that's one of the things I look forward to every day is what's next. But it's great that we're seeing the focus move away from this accumulation of beta amyloid as being the cause of Alzheimer's to really a broader perspective, especially one that is really finally highlighting the role of the immune system, these microglial cells that we've been talking about today, and how even today we know how our lifestyle choices are powerfully influential in terms of keeping those mitochondria and microglial cells in their brain defending mode.
You made it to the end of this clip, which means you're going to love the full episode. Head on over here to watch, and I'll see you over there.
These are the cells called the microglial cells that are taking the front of the stage now, because when they go south, it sets the stage for every type of brain degenerative condition that you could think of. When our blood sugars elevate.